Well, hello! I'd like to welcome you to another exciting episode of Pens in Use. This show is late, and there have been problems. But we're going to do a special edition on a special day, and I'll get into all the problems and everything at the end of the video. So we are looking at my top pens reviewed in 2019, now that we jump into 2020. So let's dive into it. If videos like this interest you, where I talk about fountain pens both new and old and at all price points, I would invite you to subscribe. And did you buy a pen in 2019 that rises above the rest? Let us know down in the comments. So, without further ado, let's take a look at the top 10 pens that I reviewed in 2019. I will just note, these are not ranked. These are just laid here as I grab them from the case. So first, we have a Kaveco 37/37G. And yes, vintage and modern are mixed here. I have a Sheaffer Legacy 2. I have a Selector President. I have a Toes Penkala Mirna. I have an Ethan pen. I have a Lamy 80, Platinum Procyon, Reform 4328, Nakaya Decapod Twist, and a Selector, we'll call it purple and black because I don't have a model number for it. As always, even if it's a special edition of the show, we'll be filming this in the Bomo Art Journal. So let's take a look at how these pens write. Alright, if this is meant to be a top pens of 2019 and a pens in use, I will just admit two things before I really get into the qualifications here. First of all, every year at Christmas, I always try to empty out every pen I have and clean them and put them away to bed. But I need something to write with. So I've actually been down to the lovely, let's see if I can throw some more light on the subject, the lovely, try that again. The lovely Pilot Custom 823. That's been my daily writer. I actually ran that out in less than a week, and I did have it full. I recently refilled it. The ink is Lamy black, but because this isn't part of my top 10 of 2019, no promises on any other lists, I won't include it here. This is my top pens of 2019. They had to be reviewed or first impression video in 2019, and the links are provided in the video description down below. So my first one is a very recent video. I actually filmed the video quite a bit before it was published. This is a Kaweco 37/37G. I had a hard time limiting myself in my Kavecos because I love their V pens, but I had to be honest, this is the one that did the most for me. And maybe we'll see why. This is also a partial test of the pen. What is this nib? An extra fine, I think? I don't remember. It's not written on the barrel, so we'll just leave it alone. But the ink is one of my favorites. It is Noodler's Black Swan. Not English, sorry, they're Prison Colony. Australian. English Rose does appear later in this list, though. And I do apologize for all the Australians who may feel insulted by what I just said. I like the concept of Australia. I want to visit there someday. And I actually have hopes of owning a fountain pen from there soon. But this is just a beautiful ink. Say what you will about Nathan Tardif, this is beautiful. So why is this pen on the list? Well, look at it. Slim black vintage pen, slightly not an unknown manufacturer, but Kaveco really doesn't make anything like this anymore. And look at that writing. I really had to talk myself out of including a second Kaveco on this list. I reviewed several this year I just thought were wonderful. My next pen was a surprise. I bought it kind of on a gamble. I just saw it on the Van S Pens website, and I thought, oh, I don't know. And I really wanted the black one. But I bought it, and it turns out it's a pneumatic filler. You pull this out, and when you push it in, it causes a rubber sac inside to compress and then open up. But it's a modern 1990s version. But Sheaffer no longer makes a pen like this. So I actually got something very special for... you could have knocked me over with a feather when I found out what this set would actually cost if I bought it on eBay. I paid significantly less for it. So, this pen no longer leaves the house, and never will. Sheaffer Legacy 2. I know this has a medium nib on it. And the ink in it, thanks to a viewer, is Sheaffer Purple, the modern purple. I only have one bottle of Sheaffer ink, and this isn't it, so it's blue. So this viewer has actually sent me a number of samples that I need to get through. I have actually this coming year I'll be doing a lot of samples because I have a bunch of Krishna inks, some more of those Hard Rock Diamine inks from Germany. I think they're called Hard Rock. I don't remember what they're called. And a few other random samples, Dea Trementis, Mahatma Gandhi, and so on. So why did this pen get here? Again, not a flex pen, but look at that. Nice writer. And I want to try an ink like Noodler's Black Swan and English Rose or Australian Rose in it. I don't like metal pens, so it had to be something special to make up for that. Metal pens are fingerprint magnets. They don't feel the greatest in the hand. I appreciate the plastic grip that makes it nicer and the inlaid nib. It was such a surprise. I know when I bought it, I was like, oh, can I cancel my order maybe? And then when I picked it up, I was just like, oh, I'm going to hate it, I'm going to hate it, I'm going to hate it. And no, I enjoy it very much. Now this almost looks like that ink has some sheen to it. We'll see when this bit dries here. Now my next pen got me arrested. Of course, our merry adventures with Iran are taking over the news. But until that distraction happened, Ukraine was a big thing in the news, only it was a natural gas company, not the Ukrainian Ministry of Coal. But this is a Senator, not Platinum, although the Platinum is also a good one. A Senator President. Surprisingly light pen, but it's a piston filler, and it has just an amazing gold nib. And this is also a very modern pen. I kind of wonder if Senator still makes it. I couldn't find it on their website, but I have been able to find a lot of these for sale. I almost wrote Platinum there. Okay, here's my other Black Swan. So this is Senator President with the broad gold nib. And this ink is Noodler's Black Swan in English Rose. And again, what a beautiful color. I like the Australian Rose a little better. but this is a nice one. Just kind of a, I don't know, a darkish red. Can I say that? I'm not very artistic, so I don't know words. So if I'm trying to do a top pens of 2019, I'm going to be super careful, or try to be, and not write off screen. Because I have a tendency to do that because I don't watch my previews always. This is an interesting pen. I didn't give it a very good first impression. But I think it was more the ink. This is a Toes Penkala Mirna. As I used other inks in it, in fact, Sweet Potato Purple, which will show up in another pen, I decided, you know, it's really not that bad of a pen. It's actually kind of fun. So what do they call that? Fingernailed intarsia nib? I'm not sure. So this is a Toes Penkala. So this comes from Croatia, but probably from a time when, excuse me, I kind of hiccuped there. Probably from a time when it was still known as Yugoslavia. Toes Penkala Mirna. And this pen is an extra fine. Let's see if I can find it here. Oh, no, it isn't. It's a medium. Oh, I just said that, didn't I? Medium. The ink in it is Giban Lidete. I kind of wanted an ink in it that would just mirror that tortoise shell sort of finish. Why is this here? I think I cited most of it. Just a very attractive pen, very nice, understated but good writer. Just a very high quality build, and it's one of my favorite vintage manufacturers, so what more could you want? My next pen is in a different league. This is really it's a kit pen. But this is made by a student who graduated last year. I'm calling it an Ethan pen. So this one's here. I mean, it's attractive, but one of the big reasons it's here, the personal meaning. Might be fun one of these days to try a different nib on it. I don't know. Might dress it up a little. And I know what I just said about metal grips, and here we go. And the ink in it is Akkerman. Number 26. Something in Dutch. I don't know Dutch. And I was actually going to use Google Translate to give me a clue how to pronounce this. And I forgot. So, rather than embarrass myself or lose all my Dutch viewers in angry protest at my butchering their language, I'm just going to abstain. I love the bottles on these Akkerman inks, but when I look at this ink, I almost feel like, oh, could have picked a little bit better color there, dude. Not a bad color. It's sort of a darkish green, but maybe not one of my favorites. My next pen is here. If you rewatch my first impression of it, I got excited. I had been batch filming a whole bunch of videos. Something I had planned to do this... what's going on here? Oh, I'll bet that's on purpose. Something I had been planning to do this break, And then my computer died, so I didn't get that done at all. But this is a Lamy 80. And I just about gave away the secret there. The reason I really loved this pen and got so excited, even though I'd done a bunch of batch filming. Oh, come on. Autofocus, work with me. Look at that nib. That beautiful double broad nib. And watch this. Not only is it double broad, it's almost got kind of a stub character to it. Which is a thing you'll see in the Lamy 2000, which in another year would have been on this list, but I didn't review any new ones this year. The ink in it is Lamy Turquoise. With this nib, this is not a pen I'm going to use to take notes at work. I might use it as a highlighter, but hardly a workday pen. This is a fun pen. A pen you put your inks in that you want to see what they can do. A pen where you want to show off your ink. Another pen where I want to see these two black swans in. That's why I love this pen. I've been told Lamy Turquoise can have a bit of a sheen. I will admit on this paper it's difficult to get some sheen, and I see now with the Sheaffer purple there is no sheen. But again, maybe on another purple. I mean, on another paper. It's 7:45 in the evening where I am right now, so forgive me if I get a little off tonight. My next pen was another first impression. I think, well, no, this isn't the first modern pen, but the Ethan pen is well, probably about the same age. This is a Platinum Procyon. I don't review as many modern pens as I used to, partly because they are typically more expensive than what I buy. This isn't. This is down on the lower end of the market. This is one I wasn't even that excited about until I saw this color. I just, wow, that's like those old 1950s cars with that coral finish. And I can't remember if it's called that. I almost want to say it's called salmon or something, but anyway, it's screw cap pen. You know, business-like medium nib. I think there's more nib choices and more color choices now. And a feed designed to fill out of a very low ink level. So I had to think, well, what ink would make sense in a Platinum Procyon that's coral colored? Well, Lamy Coral, of course. An ink I almost never use. Platinum Procyon. Procyon, not So the ink is, we'll just put it all down here, Lamy Coral. Yeah, that isn't necessarily my first choice of inks to go to. It's kind of bright. Kind of reminds me of the color of, I don't know what it reminds me of the color of, I'll be honest, other than those 1950s cars. But very bright. And the pen just, I don't know, when I thought back through my year, what pen do I want to put in this list? Believe it or not, before the Sheaffer, or I'm sorry, not the Sheaffer, well, before any of them, including the Senator President or one of the ones you're going to see here in just a bit, before the Sheaffer Legacy, before the Ethan pen, before the Mirna, this is actually the first pen I thought of when I started trying to think about this list. And that's back before I went through all the videos I had filmed. So I feel like that means I had a good emotional reaction to this pen. So that's why it's on this list. This is a good one. This one, surprise. This is another one of those slim black pens I like. This is a Reform 4328. Now, I've reviewed some other Reforms. I think I've got a couple of Reform videos coming yet. This one, really, it was the nib. This pen was stunning. And let me show you why. And I picked this ink because I wanted to see this ink in this pen. Because I wanted to see the shading and I wanted to see the flexing. This is a, what size nib is it? Oh, I don't know. This is one of those vintage Bach nibs, which are absolutely amazing. When I see one of them on a pen, I know it's going to be a good one. The ink in it is Diamine Autumn Oak. And I forced myself to wait until filming this video, which turned out to be quite a sacrifice because the darn computer died either Christmas Day. Well, it must have been the day after Christmas Day because I uploaded that light video. So yeah, these have been sitting for a week without me doing anything with them. And you'll notice, other than a slight glitch with the Kaveco 37 on the very first stroke, I haven't had a problem with these. Yeah, there's lots of reasons these pens are on this list. These are all reliable pens. These are all well-made pens. These are all pens that write very well. And this one was especially impressive. Just for the nib. Now, I'm surprised this next pen wasn't the first one I thought of when I started thinking of pens that I would use in this video. This is the one pen in the list that's actually been inked up almost continuously through the year. I actually bought this in 2018, but didn't publish a video till 2019, so that's why it's in this list. This is my Nakaya Decapod Twist. I feel like I need a fill light coming in this direction. I'll have to work on that. Oh, I just had an idea. Yep, professionals here. Whoops, maybe that won't work. Don't worry, I'll edit all of this out. Okay, let me just see how that worked. I feel like that didn't help at all. I'll look at it in the video. If you're wondering what I did, Santa, before the computer thing, bought me a backfill light. I don't know if it made any difference on me either, but anyway, I'll experiment with it. I may get a little tripod for it or something, or mount it somewhere. I'll figure it out. So I'll just put it back where it was. Santa wasn't happy about having to buy me a new computer after he already bought me that toy. Alright, so anyway, Nakaya Decapod Twist. Just a beautiful, beautiful urushi finish. And I have wanted a Nakaya for years. This is what Santa brought me last year, obviously. Just beautiful pen. Unscrew it. Again, Santa had it, not engraved, what do they call that? Whatever, with the Chinese characters for squirrel. I had a small panic when I thought Santa had, put instead some nasty insult in Japanese, but apparently that's the handwritten. And Santa gave me a soft, fine nib, which I already knew I loved because I have a Platinum 3776 with a soft, fine nib. No, not as flexible as the Reform or some of these other pens, or the one that's going to come next, but a fun fun nib. Wow, the wind is howling outside right now. And the ink in it is Sailor, Jentle, one of my all-time favorite inks, Epinard. A very nice dark green color. I had spinach in my supper I had tonight. It was had spinach and spaghetti squash and what else? Chicken. There was a little bacon in it. So anyway, just this pen is a work of art. And if you look at some of the more expensive pens from that company, well, we're just getting started with the art. And my last one, but not least, because as I said, these are not ranked in any order, this is just the order I grabbed them, is what I'm going to call a Selector purple and black. And maybe you can see why I'm calling it that. Just a beautiful finish. Now this is a vintage pen. It has a pressure bar, latex sack, and it's button filled. Oh, let's throw this detail in here too. And then uncap it. And we have a fairly unassuming nib. Give you more detail about it if you click on the video about this pen. And I know I'm going to have a few viewers yell at me for using this ink in this pen. But I don't care. As I was looking through my ink collection for what would go in this pen, I saw it. I actually recently did some cooking with sweet potatoes, only mine were orange. I don't like those nasty sweet dishes that people make. I'm sorry, I shouldn't call them nasty, but I just don't have much taste for sweet stuff. And I don't like those sweet dishes they make with the brown sugar and then they put marshmallows on them and stuff and just, bleh. But I had a breakfast dish I made with this once, and I made a soup with sweet potatoes, and they worked out pretty well, in savory dishes. So there you have my top 10 favorite pens out of all the ones I reviewed in 2019. Could I have included more in this list? Absolutely. But these were ones that, as I scrolled through my list, I thought, yes. And like I said, the Platinum Procyon, first one I thought of when I thought of doing this video. Usually I close out the year and do top 10 most recommended pens. I may yet do that video. I usually also like to do a couple other top 10s, so expect during this coming week, especially the Monday and Wednesday video, probably will not be reviews. There'll be some kind of a top 10 list. I have a few ideas I'm toying with, and so expect something. Next Friday will be a regular Pens in Use. I am uploading this particular video as a premiere. I thought that would be fun because I didn't get time to do my live stream this afternoon because I'm filming this on Saturday the way I'd planned. So I didn't want to put two videos on the same day because I knew I was going to release this one tomorrow. So I just decided, you know what? I've got that classroom video sitting around, so I'm going to upload that. And I'm going to do this one as a premiere. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it. So about my computer trouble, I have a MacBook Pro. It's a 2012 model, and, well, there's no nice way to say it. It died. A computer friend of mine suggested that yeah, at 7 years old, it's probably not worth the expense of getting repaired. So I bit the bullet and replaced it with another MacBook. I wanted to do more research. You know, some people suggested Linux. I had some suggestions of different brands of Windows machines. And I was just like, ooh, if I just had time to research it. But I didn't. I needed a computer. I don't just use this for this channel. I do a lot with this computer, both for work and personally. And for some of my other jobs that I do. I make money with this computer, so I need it. So I just bit the bullet, went MacBook Pro again, but I hope in the future, next time I buy a computer, maybe I'll have time to evaluate the market better. One thing that came as a shock, another reason why you didn't get a live stream today, no USB ports on it. It's all USB-C. Everything I have is a excuse me, is a USB for the MacBook Pro. Luckily, because we're a one-to-one school where I work, our junior high students have machines that have only a USB-C port on them. I had some dongles. I'd show you the dongle, but the microphone's plugged into it right now. That adapt. So I had purchased 3 of them myself with my own money just so I could experiment with some stuff. And so I took one of the 3 I'd bought home. You know, can't use the schools for this, of course, but, like I said, I'd bought 3 of my own. So that's what's in this. I think I'm going to have to buy some more dongles and, different things to get used to. But it is kind of nice having a newer, fresher, faster computer. I don't know why I moved everything over, but I have about 40 more free gigabytes of hard drive space than I did on the old machine. I don't know where the junk hides, but as machines get old, they deposit stuff just like as the human body gets old, things wear out and it starts doing weird deposits in weird places. So I guess computers are the same way. I don't know. But it's kind of fun having that computer. I am sorry I disappeared for so long. It was a shock to me, and all my ambitious plans just collapsed with the death of my computer. So I finally ordered it. I guess it was New Year's Day when I finally ordered the new machine. I kept hoping, it'll work this time. And I had 1 or 2 evenings that gave me hope when I probably should have filmed. But, then it would just shut off unexpectedly, and I was like, okay. So, I am back. Now I know that in a pinch I can film decent writing samples and such with the cell phone. Not amazing, and no fun to edit on the cell phone screen, but I can do it. So I guess that's good news. So anyway, I want to wish you a happy 2020. Fun thing with 2020, you've got repeating digits there, 20 and 20. Last time that happened was 1919. And I'm going to be dead before the next one happens in 2121. So maybe some of you will be around and can come. I don't want to have a grave. I want to be cremated and just thrown into the wind. But, you can come find some dust somewhere and dance on it or something. So anyway, I want to thank you for watching and happy 2020. And thank you to all my loyal fans. And look forward to a few more special edition videos coming later this week. So we'll see you later. Bye-bye.